Greetings. It's Tuesday of Holy Week. It's time for my weekly devotional. This is Rabey from Highland Presbyterian Church. Of course, I'm today at home in my study. But I'd like to focus with you about Holy Week. We know much about what took place on Palm Sunday and certainly about Maundy Thursday with the Communion, the Last Supper, the Crucifixion on Friday, and then Easter Sunday and the Resurrection. We don't usually emphasize much about Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so what happened on those days? Today's Tuesday of Holy Week. And so what happened on Monday of Holy Week? Mark tells us, very specifically, after the triumphal entry, he says, the next day as they were leaving Bethany, and Mark says that they had been spending time in Bethany because that's the place of Mary, Martha, and Lazarus, about 2 miles away from Jerusalem. So Jesus was spending the nights there and then during the day going into Jerusalem. And on Monday, Jesus curses the fig tree, a very unusual story, and most interpreters think about time of judgment for not only what's taken place in the temple, but for the future. It also describes that Jesus was at the temple and cleaning out the temple, cleansing the temple, quoting Isaiah 56, that my Father's house will be a place of prayer for all nations. Mark says that in the morning, which means on Tuesday morning, he returns to the temple, and there are several activities in the last part of chapter 11 and chapter 12 of Mark. A couple of those activities you're familiar with, but these happened on that Tuesday. We're told that the story of paying taxes to Caesar. And of course, he says the very famous statement, give back to Caesar what is Caesar's and to God what is God's. And then there's the well-known greatest commandment, where we're to love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, quoting from Deuteronomy. And then we have the widow's offering, a very endearing story of Jesus watching the crowd and seeing the widow that gives the widow's mite. He says, they all gave out of their wealth, but she out of her poverty put in everything, all she had to live on. But in the afternoon, Jesus returns to Bethany. It might be the evening. But a very important thing happens. It's called Jesus' anointing. Mark tells us while Jesus was at the house of Simon the leper, a woman came with an alabaster jar of very expensive perfume, made of pure nard. She broke the jar and poured the perfume on Jesus' head. Now, some of the people were very upset about this and said that the money could have been used for helping the poor. But Jesus told them that she has done a beautiful thing. She has poured perfume on my body beforehand to prepare for my burial. Truly, I tell you, wherever the gospel is preached throughout the world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her. Here it is Tuesday of Holy Week 2020, and we're still talking about what she did. In the midst of our worldwide pandemic, each of us being isolated at our homes for the sake of our health, I ask you to make time this week to do a beautiful thing. Showing your faith in the redemptive act of what Jesus has done on that Thursday, Friday, and particularly Sunday. What he endured and what he fulfilled for the sake of your soul. So this week, spend time anointing Jesus in some special way, either alone or with your family, so that you can think about what he has done for you in redeeming your soul, in offering salvation for each of us through his death and resurrection. In the same way, I would hope that you would anoint Jesus by showing your faith to others, by reaching out through prayer, uplifting words, perhaps a donation online. and how your faith in Jesus and the good news of Easter is like a priceless perfume in the midst of the world's anxieties and distress. Be safe, stay healthy, and keep praying.